There are certain rules you must follow if your life project is to become a rich person, and I am not only talking about financially. Mental poverty is one of the main reasons why you have not yet progressed if your goal is to be a successful person. That's why here in EcoNews we will tell you what are the 7 rules you must follow to become rich according to Robert Kiyosaki, the great author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you like this type of content, please like us and don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel. By the way, activate the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you when we upload new content. Now let's start with the video. Number 1. Make money work for you. Most people in the world work just to make ends meet or to have a plate of bread on the table. Others simply spend a lifetime studying and doing major after major in order to get a respectable job or a good salary, not knowing that many times that's not entirely possible. Many even end up ruining their physical and mental health in order to meet certain demands that have been instilled in their heads since childhood. In this regard, Kiyosaki tells us that he believes that all this lifestyle was instilled in children based on fear that is educated and put into the heads of many children since they are young at school and in the family. For example, very few people tell a child that he has to study because knowledge is the key to the world. On the contrary, they tell him that he must study because if he fails, he will be punished. Many parents tell their children that they must study a university degree to earn a living wage, but not a single one of them tells their children that they must study a university degree to achieve their dreams or goals. Worse yet, many parents put in their children's heads the idea that without a college degree they will not achieve anything in life. And that is how the fear of not being able to pay the electricity and water bills, the fear of not being a competent person for society, which constantly judges you, fear of financial problems, insecurity, to take on new challenges, fear of what people will say, among many other fears that are implanted from generation to generation, are instilled. On the other hand, a rich person is always looking for a way to make his money work for him. No matter the how, they always look for a way instead of making silly excuses. It could be buying assets that generate more capital in the long run, investing wisely, or simply investing in their financial education. So, we could say that poor people trade their time for money, while rich people make money work for them. Number 2. Improve your financial education. If we hear the word education, it is almost impossible not to imagine a school, and although it may seem hard to believe, the school as such is a model that was created to function as employee training. And I don't want you to get the wrong idea. Schools are important, of course they are. They can teach children to have good mathematical and verbal reasoning, to respect peers and their superiors, to work in a team, and to be a responsible person. Many people say that school is a half-truth and a half-education is not education. We are referring to the fact that financial education is still not being taught in schools. And not only is financial education not being taught in schools, they never talk about the successful ventures in their localities, successful entrepreneurs that were born in their neighborhoods or how the companies grew, nor the challenges that all successful people had to go through to found an empire. Financial education is something very important to keep in mind. You can find videos on the channel that talk about it and why it is so important. If you are not yet subscribed, I invite you to do so and take a tour of the channel while you're at it. Number 3. Know the difference between assets and liabilities. According to Kiyosaki, assets are those investments that generate more money, while liabilities are investments in which you only lose your capital. Rich people tend to buy a lot of assets, while poor or middle-class people don't stop spending their money foolishly, buying liabilities or spending on unnecessary things. Number 4. Focus on your own business. In this part of his masterpiece, Robert Kiyosaki makes it clear that many people, especially young people, who are still entering this jungle of competition called life, are not able to differentiate between a business and their professions. Many believe that, if they have already begun to study a very different university career or one that has little to do with investments or entrepreneurship, they will not be able to invest or start in business. However, Kiyosaki thinks completely different and tells us that it can actually be a great opportunity. But not everything is rosy, because it is almost impossible to try to start a business without savings or a moderately large cushion of money. Faced with this problem, Kiyosaki, who is a successful man, proposes that young people take advantage of the fact that many work and do not have extremely large expenses to invest in assets with the salary they earn during the month. That way, little by little they will earn passive income, and little by little that income will grow thanks to compound interest. And we know that it doesn't sound so easy, and that in practice it is certainly even more difficult. But once you start to get into this world, you will see how everything seems to become a little easier to understand, and how business ideas do not stop coming to your head. In fact, Kiyosaki himself used this strategy when he was a young man. He used to work as a photocopier dealer, and with the salary he got from working there, he invested in real estate, and in just 3 years his income already exceeded his average salary. But according to Kiyosaki, the most important thing he got from this achievement was not a large amount of money, but the experience. Therefore, always keep in mind that you don't need to be a great financial genius to be successful or entrepreneurial. You just need to put your money to work for you, and for that you have a wide range of options. For example, you can invest in real estate, businesses that do not require your presence, stocks, or research a broad market with which you feel comfortable to start. Remember, you don't need large sums of money to start investing. You can start with small stocks and then go big when you feel more confident. Number 5. Take risks to generate wealth. In this part, we are not telling you to be irresponsible and jump into the water if you don't know how to swim. What we are trying to tell you is that once you have a considerable amount of money to start investing, do not think about it anymore and invest. There are countless people who do not dare to invest for fear of losing everything. Many people in the world, what they do with their savings is simply to keep them under the mattress, so that in 5 years those $5,000 will still be $5,000. While rich people know that every great reward has a great sacrifice, and that it is likely that sometimes they stay in the red or negative numbers, but they also know that other times they manage to generate more money than they invest. And that's exactly what this part of the book is about. Making it clear that many people have an incredible fear of losing money when they don't realize that having money and doing nothing with it is the same as not having it. Number 6. Invent money. That's right, you have to invent money, but not just money, but everything we want and need. Rich people, in general, are usually very intelligent people, and rich people who are not, they probably inherited their fortune or won the lottery. But most rich people in the world are able to see opportunities where no one else does, rising above any challenge without much trouble, and taking the necessary risk to achieve their goals. And just one of the characteristics of all successful entrepreneurs in the world, and we are talking about finding the right people for the right jobs. A great entrepreneur does not need to be an expert in all areas of your business, but you do need to be an expert in identifying the right people for each of those areas. This is the great importance of financial intelligence applied in all areas. Surely at this point you have already realized that to be successful you not only need to know how to invest or what to do with your money, but you also need skills that are more related to your abilities to develop in your environment. That is why we recommend you to develop these 4 skills. 1. Knowing how to identify an opportunity before others do. 2. Knowing how to obtain financing for your projects. 3. Knowing how to work with people smarter than you. 4. Knowing how to accept the risk of each investment and be prepared for failure. Number 7. Work to learn. And we come to the last point, so we will try to be a little shorter to give a better explanation. That is why we want to give you a piece of advice that every person should follow, whether they are interested in finance or not, and that is continuous learning. It is always important to be a sponge to acquire knowledge wherever you go. Kiyosaki explains that learning a little bit of everything ultimately gives us a more complex view of life. It helps us find different perspectives, different solutions, different tools, or just increase our intellectual baggage, which is very important as well. That was all in today's video. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a comment and give us a like. By the way, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. See you in the next video.